What you got, Faz?
Got the shakes.
Look at that. Some things never change.
Hi guys, you've caught us on a beautiful evening at West Harts Golf Club, and I'm here with Griff and Faz. We're here for our 2-day golf school at West Harts, and we're out on the course doing a little bit of a recce, getting ready for this week's schools. The guys are warming up, Fozza's getting ready because he's not played here before, so he's just getting used to the course. And we thought we'd take this opportunity. We're on the 5th, it's 400 yards, and it's quite a tricky hole, and we thought we'd just take this opportunity to let the guys talk you through this hole, because it's really interesting, because one of them's got an iron, Griff's got an iron, and Fozza's got a wood. So I'm going to shut up and let these guys talk and let Griff explain the hole.
So 5th hole at West Harts, right around 400 yards from the tees we're at today. Quite a tricky hole, a little bit of a dog leg to the right, 2-tier green and bunkers everywhere. So to me, the further up I hit it, the narrower it gets, but actually that can give you a better angle into the green. So history for me playing this a lot, I tend to hit a long iron, just keep it low, get it running. Anywhere inside the second bunker on the left gives me a great angle at the green, and then from there I can proceed.
Foz, you've gone for a different stick.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I've not played it before, so I'm going purely on biology, really. He's younger and fitter and stronger than me, so I'm just going with an extra club just to see if I can get it past that left-hand bunker.
You're intimidating him, Griff.
I've picked the same target as Griff, and it just naturally catches your eye there. There's 2 trees in the gap of the bunkers. Looks a perfect line. Left to right sloping fairway. It's like he's the pro here.
Pushed it a fraction, it's going to
Good strike.
Whether
Yeah.
it stays up top, but it's pretty good.
Great shot, nice strike,
take
that's
it.
standard. And the thing about it is, correct distance, because obviously this distance control's always there with these guys, but picking the right landing area, maximising the space you've got, even with a bit of a push, it's good decision making, good course management that gives you that bigger landing area, so kind of it's giving you that room for error. But obviously we're talking 10 yards right there, not big discrepancies with these boys.
That is absolutely perfect.
That's stunning, that one. Look at that, that's position A.
Yeah.
And that's how you do it, guys. Yeah. So good decision making. For us, mere mortals, the thing is, it's allowing us to go there with a bit more confidence. So we're not over the ball questioning ourselves, making all our decisions way before we actually go through a pre-shot routine. We're actually committed to a shot, we're picturing it, we've got something to aim for. It's all positive. And then it's a case of just committing to the process. This is golf, isn't it? A couple of yards out, totally different golf shot from there compared to here.
Yeah, I mean, it was hit well, faded a little bit on the wind, landed in the right side of the fairway, but it's kicked a little right, just rolled off the edge.
Just a bit of wind in the left to right.
And now I've got ball below my feet, kind of a pretty quick jumpy lie to a flag that doesn't really want any of that. I've got the pin back right up on the tier. It's not that easy. I've got 138 yards. It's going to come out a bit fiery. Can't really go at that flag with any certainty of it stopping anywhere near the flag. So I'm going to have to play something out left and try and use the contours and just work it up somewhere into the tier and try and leave myself the best putt I can. So sort of downwind off the left, it's not really filling me with a lot of confidence to go at the flag. So that's out of the question unless I hit a bad shot. But yeah, something pitching wedge, middle of the green, and just work it into the slope. Pushed it a fraction, which might actually work.
What a shot.
Great shot.
And it's got up on the tier. If it stops, that is one I don't want back ever.
What a shot.
I've
And
played here 23,000 times, so.
But the detail that Griff was explaining, those potential outcomes, he wasn't just thinking of the one shot, that was his final decision. After playing out all these different scenarios in his mind about, he was talking what was past the pin, left and right, and then that basically gave him all that information he needed to make that final decision. And obviously he's got the skills to pay the bills, and it came off there perfectly. So what a shot. That's a perfect. Demo. What you got, Faz?
Got the shakes. 120 flag. Perfect scenario for why you're playing a practice round. See there, what am I, 1 metre, 2 yards from through in the rough, but as good a tee shot as I can hit, and it's running to the rough. But that's why you come out here. The ground's way firmer than I thought it would be, so you're just playing a few holes to work out, you know, when you need to play, or if you were doing it in that scenario. That's the whole reason what you're out on the course looking at. I mean, yeah, there's no problem where it is. I've got for hitting a nice shot, I've got my reward. As Griff's coming in that, I mean, Griff's hit an awesome shot, but the reward up the left is you can go straight for the flag, rather than from the right you've got to come in over the bunkers. The only problem, you know, you've got to bring the rough in as a factor, but it's still in good position. So, I mean, looking at that, it might help run it up the bank, to be honest.
I was going to say, how does that change you?
Well, you've got to pitch it shorter.
Yeah.
It takes away control. I mean, you'd rather be there. I mean, I'd be tempted, you know, I could fly it onto the back from there, but just going to have to play a lower flighted ball, land it on the front and try and let the contours do that.
Sharp. Very sharp.
Great control out there.
See, that's the difference. I mean, also, this golf's not as simple as people think. I mean, I've tried to hit a low shot there. The grass has got caught on the face, if you get an idea of that. The ball's shot straight up in the air. That's where you just got to commit to a shot. So that ball has done, I mean, it's a great result. That ball's actually done nothing I was trying to do, apart from I've done the correct thing of committing to it and playing the correct shot. And that's why a pro always wants to be on the fairway, because some luck is involved. Well, luck's involved everywhere, but in the rough there's more luck involved. So thankfully, you know, staying committed, it's worked out nice there. But if you can see, that's exactly why you're not in, that doesn't happen on the fairway. That's exactly why you're not in control. You know, pros always worry, or not worry, but they're not happy when in that scenario there.
You get a nice round of applause from the gallery there, and he's not played the shot he intended, but never let your mouth throw in a good shot.
Look at that. Some things never change.
Well played, Faz. Easy 3, easy as that.
Got this for the half then. Unless I get a shot. Thought I just got enough of it.
Didn't want that back.
No.
What was your line, Faz? It didn't move much, did it?
It's pretty straight. I tried to start it right edge, because the slope there, and then it straightened up, so fraction.
Up there, it can go either way.
Where are you reading your putts from? So obviously you know this like the back of your hand, but on tour, like for you, Faz, you've not played here before. Walking up onto this green, where are you taking your information from?
Well, as we've discussed before, a low point all the time for me as a starting point. Pros and cons, we always chat about taking the most out of it when you arrive on the green, but we're playing in buggies today, which is not necessarily an advantage when you're reading putts, because when you're walking up the green, we chat a lot about that's where you can take in your most information. That's also a good way of speeding golf up as well, because you can use that as a strategy and reading putts. But yeah, so for me, I'm coming on low point, read it, and then just to walk around and hit the putt.
Do you tend to read it more from the other side, behind your ball? So what about for you, Griff?
A bit like Foz, I'm scanning when I'm coming in from, you know, if you're walking onto the green in from the side, I'm looking at around the outside just to get an idea of what's going on with slopes, if it's, you know, following the natural slope of the land, or just to get an idea. And then for me, I don't like to confuse it. If I get in and I see something, I'll go with it. So generally I'll have a look behind the hole, like Foz said. If I don't see what I need to see, I'll go low side, and then very rarely I'll go the other side. I'll just let my feet take over.
Awesome.
I've always been like that.
That's
It's I can't putt the other way.
That
I
is
can't
gold
aim
dust.
anything.
Yeah.
I don't even look at this. It's just I've got it gripped. It's pretty square as long as I put the grip on straight, and yeah, get a feel from feet and go.
So Griff's just hit a shot there. You talk us through what just happened, Griff, with that shot, what you felt in
Yeah,
your swing as well?
didn't really commit to anything. I knew down off the right it was a simple sort of holdy 6-iron, a little bit against the wind. It was going to feed up to the pin. I got out of sync early and got away from me, and I flipped it left. So over the bunker, I'm going to have a tricky chip. It's not going to be great up there, so it's not a good miss.
So a bit of a pull, turned it over a bit, got the club turning over a bit flicky, just like Griff said. So what we want to look at quickly is how do you manage your swing on the golf course without thinking technical? How do you recognise your movement patterns to enable you to get back into sync so that you don't have to rely on this kind of not uncontrollable but less controllable release? Because for these guys, I mean for all of us, I mean most of us, we're wanting to draw the ball. For these guys, they don't want loads of draw spin, they don't want to be certainly pull drawing it. Knowing Griff's swing, if you've not seen Griff on the channel before, look on the lesson videos. Griff's been a couple of times, some fantastic lessons with Griff on there, and you'll see what we've worked on in the past. So it's just managing that. It's knowing your tendencies, knowing your patterns, and how you just regulate it, just fine tune it. So if I can just borrow your club a sec, Griff. So we know that Griff's got a lot of laxity in his joints. I wouldn't say hypermobile, but lots of flexibility. So his loading he's got big ranges to use, and sometimes just goes excessive into that place. So then he's not got enough time to push off. Body recognises this, starts trying to push off a little bit early, or sometimes he gets stuck in and he's having to release essentially out of sequence. So we've got to make sure that the ranges we're using are actionable, are recruitable at the time we want. So if we've got a lot of internal rotation here, look at the knee in comparison to the foot, this internal rotation here at the ankle, if we've got a lot of internal rotation, a lot of movement going on here, then we've got to be able to get out of this and then use the upper body and release the club. So if we're using too much range, we haven't got enough time, particularly on a shorter shot like this where it's more controlled. So the lower body essentially is doing too much. It's not a thing, I see that often, where somebody's using the lower body too much and the ranges are too big, but these guys really do use the ground for power. So what we're going to do, Griff, if you just don't mind stepping in, just take your normal stance. So we're going to put this stick in between there, in line with his big toe and his second toe. Essentially now, we're going to look at the knee in relation to that stick. So when Griff loads, so just make a swing and just load, so you can see the knee's pointing inside, that's internal rotation. If Griff goes too much, that's pointing now over here, that's way too much internal rotation. So he's basically got to push out the ground and get back out, and it's essentially going to take too long. So he's either got to fire early or excessive, and he's out of time. So just do it again, Griff, for us. It's the same pattern. All we're doing is going to just reduce it a bit. So when you swing back as well, Griff, don't let your knee move too far away from this line.
Right, okay.
There. Okay, just go back again, swing back. So it's just inside. Now, keep it inside as you shift. There. Okay, so we've basically got the same loading pattern. All we're doing is just changing the ranges a little bit. So we're not so much out of range, excessive, just more mid-range. Just go again for us. There. So what we're actually doing is letting the pelvis load instead of using the knee, and then we just get a big shift of mass, and that's creating a lot of momentum that we've got to control, so it can throw us off balance. So this is going to keep Griff much more balanced, so he can rotate faster. That's better, and then he can spring from there, you see, and rotate, so he can use his pop and rotate, so he'll be able to keep his ball flight straight on line, so he's not got as much face rotation. Let's try it. Yep. Perfect. Oh. Shot, Griff. Different feeling?
That was good, yeah, very good.
So it may sound technical, that it's not all we're talking about, it's just the same thing he always does, the same pattern, we're just recognising where we need to be within it, that's all. What did you feel you did there, Griff, compared to the swing before?
Just sort of kept this from kind of collapsing in too much, so I really felt like I resisted that a little bit as I went into the backswing, and then actually it was just a lot easier to feel this drop and that kind of, you know, stay on that line.
Yeah.
And straight away I could feel up out of the floor, which I haven't been as much lately.
Awesome. So it's good for us to reconnect because we've not seen each other for a couple of months, but he sends me swing videos, but it's nothing like being in person, as anyone who's been for a lesson knows. So to do this and just tweak it and get back on track is brilliant, because it's never far off line. It's just recognising your patterns and regulating yourself within that and not letting yourself deviate too much. So that's a good example of what you should be doing in your practice, learning from your previous shot Don't just dismiss that shot, just accept it. That was a pull draw, the previous one. So how do you just optimise your movement, just play around with it, fine tune it to get yourself back online? And like Griff just said then, his sequence felt different. He felt he got a much better, more controllable release that he's used to just by tweaking the dials a bit. And that's essentially all you're doing on the golf course. You're tweaking the dials, so you're essentially managing the same thing all the time that you've been practicing and just fine tuning it and navigating yourself around the course, and that's going to create more consistency. If you love the coaching and want to experience the effects of the training that you see with our pupils, you can purchase the GRFI system yourself by following the link in the video description. You'll get all the equipment and a 2-hour download covering all the fundamentals, exploring your movement and how you can use the ground and create those all-important ground reaction forces and transfer them through to clubhead speed and experience the gains that you're seeing in the videos.